the years, we've seen tons of companies change content in their games and censor things to please specific groups of people on the internet. We've seen flirtatious dialogue options, scantily clad armor, bathing suit scenes, tons of different things removed from games so companies can claim to be more with the times and sensitive to gamers' needs. But Halo's a franchise I and many other people love. Its gameplay is fantastic, the storytelling is remarkable, but Halo and 343 have been focused on making their games more with the times, and now gender apparently doesn't exist in the Master Chief Collection because they're removing the terms male and female and replacing them with something absolutely ridiculous. But before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. I had put out a tweet that says genders in Halo Master Chief Collection were replaced with heavy armor for the male and light armor for the females. When you become so woke trying to make things inclusive, you end up erasing genders and invalidating people. Honk honk. Now, I actually initially found this on a Reddit, Kotaku in Action. It's a Reddit a lot of people in our community use. It says gender no longer exists in Halo the Master Chief Collection, replaced with a choice of heavy or light armor. Yes, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. They don't want to refer to people as ladies and gentlemen anymore. They want to refer to you as heavy armor and light armor. So here's a screenshot of the patch notes. It says new helmets, all the same as the suits listed for Halo 3, Halo Reach Firefight update to include voice previews, improved stat tracking on Firefight, and thrown in the middle of all of these changes is gender selection renamed to body type, and gender terms changed to heavy armor, formerly male, and light armor, formerly female, and voices are not limited to the body type. Yes, everyone, I'd like to be referred to as a light armor wearer. I would like for you to refer to me as that. Thank you very much. I mean, seriously, this is absolutely ridiculous. Companies do these things thinking it's going to get them more attention and they're going to make more money, but the opposite always happens. They're not making these changes because they want to be inclusive or diverse. They're changing things like this so that they're uncancelable. They're changing their companies and their products so that no one can say, look at how terrible they are. They have more male than female workers, so their workplace is sexist, or, oh, the dialogue in their games are sexist and offensive, so we should cancel them. It's 2021. Anyone is a target of cancel culture, but at the same time, this isn't going to make them any money. It's not going to give them the positive attention they want. Even though the bodies look different, there's no difference in hitboxes or gameplay. They're just doing this to remove gender roles, but at the same time, they're inferring that a feminine physique can only wear light armor and not heavy armor, and a masculine physique can only wear heavy armor, which doesn't seem very inclusive to me. People who actually play Halo and like Halo are gonna look at this and go, but why? Because it makes absolutely no sense why they do this all these years later. We're not talking about their newest game, Halo Infinite. We're talking about them going into previous games and changing around content. It makes absolutely no sense to go back into games that are already years old that people already know and change gender options and rename them so they're not male and female anymore. Erasing the words male and female doesn't actually make the world a better place and a more inclusive place. I don't know who decided to erase genders from this, but it makes me wonder what else they're changing around behind the scenes, what else has been thrown into patch notes and that's been quietly changed, because there's not a lot of people talking about this right now, probably because it's brand new. The largest problem here is that the models are clearly different in these games. You can clearly tell one is a male and one is a female. By doing this, they're erasing people's existence, basically. They're basically just saying that these characters are objects and aren't supposed to represent real people. They're not supposed to look realistic. And in Halo, I mean, you're supposed to just be people. You're not supposed to be aliens, you're fighting the aliens, you're just supposed to be a normal person. I don't know who, again, decided that this was a good move, but it looks like tons of people think this whole situation is ridiculous, and I'm going to show you all some posts that have been made on Reddit and some comments on my tweet about this situation. It just baffles me that they thought that this was a good idea. Again, it's like they're trying to say, oh, we're doing these things to make the game more inclusive so you can see yourself in the game, yet they're removing things like gender terms and literally just calling people heavy armor wearers versus light armor wearers. But let's head on over to a couple of different posts. Here's a post on the official Halo Reddit. It says, reach body type change. As an LGBT person, I hope my opinion isn't silenced on this board for going against the grain, but while separating body type and voice is a perfectly reasonable change, calling the body types light armor and heavy armor is fairly ridiculous for a variety of reasons. Number one, the most obvious being the armor barely changes, it's body shape that changes, so it's just an inaccurate name. 2, we can be more inclusive without altering original author's intent. The intent was to represent typical male and female bodies. A dump truck ass has nothing to do with lighter armor, and calling it that is just insulting to our intelligence. And well, it's a video game board, so I'll leave out more of the off-topic issues with this change. But masculine and feminine sounds like a good way to distinguish body and voice slash gender while acknowledging original intent. But honestly, body type 1 and 2 would be better and more accurate than what we got, and I agree with. I think that if they just went into Halo Infinite and did this and just kind of made a body type 1 and a body type 2 and didn't call it male and female bodies, a lot of people would overlook the situation, as long as they weren't going on social media saying, oh my gosh, look at us, we're just so much more inclusive than all of these other gaming companies. I think that a lot of people truly wouldn't care, but a big problem here again is the fact that they're going into older content and they're changing things around to fit their current day narrative. Now, I wanted to head over to the tweet that I initially made on this situation and read some of the comments here, because a lot of people had a lot of good things to say. Data Racer said Halo has fallen to the woke and fans just don't know it yet. Somebody said, that makes me mad because I like my female Spartan and I like how they look in their armor. Why do they gotta do this? Again, they've gotta do it because they feel like this is gonna make them more money, when I truly do not believe this is going to make them a penny more on something like the Master Chief Collection. I think if you want to play it, you've probably already got it. And there are, I'm sure, still people picking it up every once in a while when it's on sale, but at the same time, I just don't see this influx of players because they removed the terms male and female. Yogensha said, guess women are a myth, especially attractive ones. And we already know this because if you look at current day entertainment, if you look at video games, you can tell they're basically erasing attractive females. People are saying things like that feeling when you put on light armor and it makes your ass fantastic. People are doing yikes face, cringe faces. I identify as medium armor. This is outrageous. I agree. I identify as medium armor and I am not represented in this game. This infuriates me. This makes me feel so offended. I mean, again, I'm just gonna be honest. Who was asking for them to change gender terms to light armor versus heavy armor? And who was the person that listened to that complaint? The backlogged gamer said, I don't think anyone identifies as armor. This is just stupid. And somebody said, as a fat guy, I would like to be classified as heavy armor from now on. I truly think that this is going to become a meme. I think that a lot of people are going to be like, I identify as heavy armor and I identify as light armor now. Maybe I'll put it in my Twitter bio. Oh, I identify as light armor, so please call me by that. I mean, who thought that this was a good idea and who okayed this? I truly want to know. Now, on this post that I made, there are a couple of people saying, oh, it's really not that big of a deal. What does it really matter? And yeah, you can say, what does it really matter? But these changes all add up and it shows the attitude of a company. They're willing to go back and change content from years ago to hopefully appease outrage mobs. They're hoping that people will go, oh my god, so inclusive, let's buy their new games, yet it never works that way. They're not gaining the audience they're hoping and they're losing the customers they already have over these pointless changes. But that's all that I had to really discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.